Hey NBA2K My League fans, I'm back with another video. In this video we're going to talk about how to use the trading block in NBA2K. If you're new to the channel, I'm Coach 2K. If you love basketball and you love NBA2K, you're going to want to subscribe to my channel. Be sure and click the bell to get notified whenever I upload anything new so you don't miss a single NBA2K video that I put out. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get started and talk about how to use the trading block in NBA2K. Now this trading block screen in your My League files is a really useful tool, and the reason it is because it allows you to communicate with all the other teams in the league about the types of transactions that you'd be willing to make and the transactions that you're not interested in. Now it's divided into three categories. The first is a target list, the trading block, and the untouchables. So you can see more, it's more than just the trading block. And so I'm going to go through each of these three items and tell you how they work, and then I'm going to give you some examples of how I'd use them in my current My League file. Now this first section is called the target list. Now the target list allows you to express interest in players or picks that another team has. So you can add a player or a draft pick, and by adding a player you let that team know, hey, we're interested in this specific player. If you're interested too, send us an offer and maybe we can make a deal. So in the case here, I've added Drew Holiday to my target list from the Pelicans, and this would let the Pelicans know, hey, maybe there's some interest there. Now, if they weren't interested in making any kind of transaction, it's not going to make one happen. But if they would consider it, maybe they'll consider sending you an offer. Interestingly enough here that you can also add your own players. And you can see here that the Pacers have 4 guys listed. These guys have contracts in the file that are expiring. And so if I wanted to, I could let like Sabonis know, hey, I'm interested in re-signing you. You're on my target list of people that are important to be on the team. And that lets the player, and I guess theoretically the agent know, so you can hammer out a contract with them. So you can add your own players too. And so if you got free agents you want to retain, then that's something you're going to want to consider doing. The second section is actually the trading block. Now the trading block, what it allows you to do is to let all the other teams know in the league that you're willing to part with either a player or with a pick if the right deal came along. So I can add a pick here. I could add my second round pick. And if I do that, that lets all the other teams in the league know, hey, this draft pick's available if anybody wants to make me an offer, and it's more likely to trigger offers in the game for that pick so that I can get something out of it if I wanted. Now I can also put players on here, so if I wanted to let everybody know, hey, Miles Turner is available for the right offer, that lets everybody in the league know, and if anybody's interested in Miles Turner, then it's likely they're going to send me an offer. So it's a good way to kind of help the game understand what you'd be willing to, what the type of transactions you'd be willing to make as far as players that you'd be willing to part with in order to improve your team. Now the third section is called the Untouchables section, and what it does is allow you to communicate to the rest of the league that under no circumstances would you do any transaction involving anything on your Untouchables list. So again, this can be a player or a pick, but let's say we wanted to add Oladipo to the Untouchables list. Well, that just tells all the GMs in the league, hey, don't even bother. He's not going to entertain any offers for Oladipo. He's never getting rid of him. Don't even try. And so you won't get any offers for Oladipo in my situation here. Now, I could also add a player too, or a pick. So if I wanted to add a pick, I could add my first round pick and say, hey, I'm not going to include my first round draft pick in any deal. You can still send me offers for anything else you want, but these two things here, Oladipo and this first round pick, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen. And that way it kind of lets the game know how, and the GMs in the league know how to work with you to try and make a deal happen if there's somebody they're interested in on your team. Now here's the really cool part. Once you've updated your trading block, you can go into the scouting tab of your My League, into the team intel section, and it gives you a summary of the actual things that you put in your trading block. Like Miles Turner, hey, they're willing to trade him. Victor Oladipo, not going to happen. And what's even cooler is that you can go to each team in the league here and you can kind of get an idea of the players that are on their trading block or that are untouchable. So like for the Pelicans here, they're interested in acquiring Anthony Davis, which is kind of interesting. They don't have anybody on the trading block, but as far as Zion Williamson goes, untouchable. So what this tells me is if I'm trying to make a deal for a certain player, I want to go to the team intel screen, see what they think, if maybe they've got him on the trading block. Maybe it's something they'd never consider. And also, it would tell me what kind of deal to maybe put together based on what kind of team status they have. So like in the case of the Pelicans, they're interested in some prospects and some draft picks more than maybe some older guys. So you can use this team intel screen to your advantage in trying to figure out how to deal with the other teams in the league for the players that you might be targeting, in addition to just waiting on them to make you an offer, which if you played in my league, you know is going to happen from time to time. All right, a couple other things about the trading block that you probably should know. The first is that the target list, the trade block, and the untouchables under the My League automation settings can be set to manual or auto. And if you want to control these things, then you're going to want to put it on manual and not on auto. And the second thing is that sometimes it takes a little while for teams to kind of update their status. And they may not have any targets. They may not have anybody on the trading block. They may not have any players that they've listed as untouchable. And that doesn't mean you can't work with that team, but as the season goes by and as if you go into multiple seasons, these screens are dynamic and they're going to change with the situation of the team. So you want to check back into the trading block of each team to find out what their current status is. I guess I should add too that even though you have all these blanks, you don't have to fill them all out. You only have to put in what you're interested in. So it doesn't have to be completely full. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Alright, if you want to watch a great My League expansion series in action, I'm going to put a link to the beginning of my League expansion series video playlist in the corner. I encourage you to watch that. You got any questions about how the trading block works? Let me know down in the comments. In the meantime, I'm Coach 2K. I'll see you on the court in the next video.